Hello everybody, I'm Hyrule Gamer and welcome to another The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Top 5 video. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 Breath of the Wild characters that we know so far from all the trailers and screenshots that we've seen from Breath of the Wild so far. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and with that out the way, let's get into my top 5 Breath of the Wild characters that we know so far. Coming in at number 5 is a character that we've seen in the Life of the Ruins trailer. Yes, you can see there in the background. That character seems to be some sort of mysterious companion, and although he is technically an unnamed or unconfirmed actual character in the game, I think that he is going to be a character that we're going to at some point travel with, possibly a potential quest, because we know Breath of the Wild is going to have quests, side quests, maybe a side quest, maybe you have to journey through a certain area. It looks like they're in some sort of maybe I want to say forest, but I can't really see many trees, but it just seems like the type of place that a forest would be in to me. But he seems like a really mysterious character. Like, what I think is it could be a possible Sheikah member or former Sheikah member. I believe it was HMK basically came to the conclusion that there's going to be these things called the Sheikah defectors. That's a whole different story, but I think this could be the complete opposite of that. Maybe a former or current Sheikah member that is going to help you in your journey on Breath of the Wild, basically, or in Breath of the Wild, sorry. So that's why I've put the mysterious companion at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is our good old friend Beedle.
Thank you!
Yep, that's right, Beedle. Now, believe it or not, Beedle is kind of an iconic character in the Legend of Zelda series, known as the sort of merchant or salesman guy, which you can go to buy potions, I believe sometimes items as well, and various other things. He's probably most well known for his appearance in The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, but he also made an appearance in The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, which I really didn't like because you had to go up to his airship and you lost hearts when you fell off, which was kind of annoying, but it was okay. But he made his biggest appearance in The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and the reason I'm putting him in at number 4 and not higher or lower is that I just love that Nintendo are bringing him back. I don't know what we'd do without him. It's so cool how they've managed to put him into the game as what we sort of know as already as some sort of travelling merchant who travels around. He may even have other people that are selling stuff for him, but that's a sort of long shot whether that's true or not. But I just absolutely love Beedle, and hopefully he'll have a big impact on the game on how he can help you, possibly selling you potions, selling you food along the way, because we know there's no heart containers, so you will need to get food to replenish your heart, so he might be selling food on the go, which would be really helpful because we know Breath of the Wild is an incredibly hard game already, and that's why Beedle comes in at number 4 for me. Coming in at number 3 is the Great Deku Tree. Now, some people may not actually class this as a character, but I do class the Great Deku Tree as an actual character. Now, the reason I'm putting the Great Deku Tree in at number 3 is, as well as Beedle, he is a very, very iconic character to the Legend of Zelda series. Although he's only appeared in 2 games, making his first appearance in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and then again in The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Probably most famously known for The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, as we know he is actually the first dungeon that you go to, or temple, whichever one you want to call it. I call it dungeon personally, which is inside the Great Deku Tree, which was actually a pretty good dungeon, but we're going a bit off track there. But anyway, I think it's really cool that they're bringing him back, because he plays a massive part in the storyline, as we already know, because in the, I believe it was the Nintendo Switch presentation trailer, yes it was, he says you are now ready to hear what happened 100 years ago, so he obviously has something very big to play in this game, as well as the role of Zelda and whoever her father is. Now, the Great Deku Tree is just very iconic, and that's why he gets so high in the list at number 3, and that's really the reason he's at number 3 in my list, so yeah. Coming in at number 2 is the Old Man. Yes, that's right. As soon as you come out of the Chamber of Resurrection in Breath of the Wild, when you first start the game, the first character you will see, apart from Link obviously, is the Old Man, and the game actually directs you towards him because you do need to go to him to progress, or at least to progress off the Great Plateau as we know so far, because you do need the sailcloth, and he's the one that gives you it. You have to go to 4 Sheikah Shrines in the Great Plateau. I believe they're all in the Great Plateau. Yes, so obviously they will be. And you go collect these 4 things, bring them back to him. Now, we don't actually know yet if he takes them or if you just need to show them to him. I got a bit confused there. And he gives you the sailcloth, which allows you the ability to sail off the Great Plateau basically, or jump off and float down, sail down, whatever you want to call it. But does he look familiar to you at all? Yep, that's right. He looks very similar to the old man in The Legend of Zelda 1, or the first Zelda game. Looks very similar. I believe they're just referencing this. I don't believe it actually has anything to do with it, because I do believe this is in a completely different timeline. I believe it's the child timeline. I think I'm thinking of the right one. But anyway, he kind of is a very iconic character if it is a reference to the old man in the first Legend of Zelda game, which says it's dangerous to go along, take this, which is a very iconic moment in gaming, or scene in gaming. So that's why the old man comes in at number 2 for me. And finally, coming in at number 1 is the hero himself, Link. Now, I know, he is the main character, and I was thinking about not putting him or Zelda on this list. I mean, Zelda's not on this list anyway, but I just had to put him there. And it's not because he's the main character. I mean, that is probably the most obvious reason that you think, but it's not the actual reason I've put him on here. It is one of the reasons, but it's not the sort of main overall reason why I've put him in at number 1 on my top 5 Breath of the Wild characters we know so far. So the first reason is, for one, he's the most iconic character, obviously, but that's the point I was saying, he's the main character. 2, his design in Breath of the Wild is so cool. I absolutely love it. I was a little bit worried that it wasn't going to look good at first when we first started to get a real look at Breath of the Wild. I believe it was back at E3 in 2014 when we got showed the first sort of scene of Link, and it was him being chased by a guardian, and we seen him in his blue tunic, and I was like, what, a blue tunic? No, green tunic? Now, I'm still thinking you may be able to get the classic hero's tunic, the green tunic, later in the game, but the blue one actually suits him so much. I mean, it's so different without the hat as well. It's also different. All these changes are, it's really weird to describe, or hard to describe. It's so good, but at the same time I was a little bit worried, but his design is so cool in this game. And the other thing I had to say about this was, it's just a new look in general. The whole game is a new look for The Legend of Zelda, and I think it's going to change The Legend of Zelda forever. It's going to be a big game. It just looks incredible, and the new design for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, how everything is made, designed, how everything looks, just Link as well, it's so amazing, and that's why he gets the number 1 spot on my top 5 Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild characters that we know so far. Thank you everyone for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below, it is really appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to stay tuned for more The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild theories, discussions and news, and any future Zelda content. And until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.